So I'm here at the Cincinnati Art Museum, and I love this picture, or this painting. Here you go. Robert Bloom, called The Silk Merchant, Japan, 1892. I'm just going to take you along so you can see the detail. So something I really like about this painting is that the colors are very deep. Everything is sort of pops. When you look at her kimono, the dark blues on that white are an excellent contrast. Even the facial tones do really well. That hard pink that he has there, in contrast to that blue, it's really nice. Even the man in the background, that white really pops from that dark brown, light brown to beige background, and then those blues and that dark green at the top. Even the blue on his hat, or underneath his hat, really has contrast. Now, I mean, you look at her, and that's just amazing to me. And the harsh shadows that fall on this woman's face really give a nice depth to the lights in her kimono and her skin tone. Even that orange, the orange does a great job, because here it looks like it's got some pretty good reds in it. It obviously looks different than what I'm looking at, but from a distance you have a very complete and fluid painting. But as you get closer, even with the cloths that he has hanging, you know, they're all really sort of their own individual structures in the painting. The background or the light in between them is sort of lucid. I mean, some of it's not complete. You can even see the backwash of the canvas. Even with the greens, you know, they're not fully deep. No, I'm not an oil painter. Done very little with oil, but you really get a sense of what he was going for. I mean, it's a gorgeous painting. Now, I don't know, he didn't do this one. This next one is William Merritt Chase. The same kind of tones. He could have did more if he wanted to. He really could have made that face in the mirror more complex, but he decided against it. It sort of creates a bit of illusion with it looking back at you. You know, he didn't complete it, but your mind really wants to put the image together and do more and have more with it. But even when you look at these outsides, these aren't fully finished. You know, but what is finished, what is the focal point of the painting, is the woman in front of the mirror. Everything else from the browns, even you got this spot right there, all these things that he has in this outside of the woman are sort of not so much faded out, but it just, again, it creates that sense of illusion that I really like about this painting. It's almost as if he's saying, you know, she is the constant, but everything that she's looking at, everything that she's processing is illusionary. It can change on perspective, how she views herself. Let me see. So Chase was friends with Robert Frederick Bloom, who's our artist for this one. So I can see why they're together. If you look at them together, you know, you see some similarities in color. When I look at this one now, though, look how he makes that mirror pop with the brown in there. You got black here, that red, but inside this exchange, you've got much lighter colors. For me, it's a lot darker than what you guys are saying. It's pretty cool. Definitely pretty cool. So, this is a painting by James Tissot. I keep hitting Japanese stuff today. So I really love this painting because, unlike the last two that I showed, everything in this painting has very fine detail. From the background, now the background overall has finer detail than some of the images that we just saw in the Japanese painting. But when you get to the two women in front, they almost run from the image. They pop out so much, it's like they want to come out of the image. So they're looking at this boat. It's just a very fine image. Look, there's depth there with the color that they used in it. And God, they must have used a ton of layers. And if you see it, it's so smooth. Like, it's a very smooth painting. Let's see. They're gonna yell at me because I'm getting really close. But look, with the dark, deep reds with her, they're about two shades, maybe a shade darker from what I'm looking at. But the dark, deep reds with her are gorgeous. There's so much depth in them. And had you just put her without the woman in the white next to this background, there's a good chance they probably would all blend it together. Or not so much blended together, but she wouldn't have the depth that she currently has. When you put the girl over here in the white, same complexion, darker hair, but that white makes the whole damn thing pop out. It makes the boat pop, it makes her pop, it pushes the background back further, and then the colors in the background even become more pronounced because it's just putting that person there in the white. Even the boat looks so much better. Now let's look at this cloth. The cloth is perfect because it goes with the white in her dress to make the picture as a whole, especially this sort of triangle frame that we have here. Just that pop. It blends these two together very well. It makes all these reds more pronounced with that gray background. Sort of matches with the gray in her dress. And then you put that red on top of it. And these things all just sort of make one whole composite image to me. And it's like after you sort of take the focus off of that, over here with this light shining through the rafters, and then it again adds more depth to the picture. Over here you can see that all of these things, the flowers, the light, isn't as pronounced over here. You have it on the inside of the rafters, which shows some depth, as you see how that goes back. Same over here, but over here is where your real light source is coming in at. And here, just a very subtle addition with those lights over the dark bars makes it look like the bars are also getting that illumination coming in. That vase, again, these hard dark colors, dark shaded colors with the lights on top of them. Let's take a look at this, look at that. And you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but it's brush strokes. Brush strokes are going left, right, like this, as it goes up it. There it is, 1869. I know when he made this one, he fell in love with it. Overall, this is a very gorgeous thing we got here. And I really do love this picture. Let me see, can I get the light like what I'm saying here? This is pretty close to how I see it. Hey, how you doing? I just love coming to the Art Museum. It's like any anxiety I have just goes away. It's a good thing. It's like my mind can jump and grab this stuff. Alright, so this next one will be so I gotta say with this one, the whites really stand out again. It's almost like, quite honestly, that white of her shirt is the most predominant thing here. Yes, you have her face. Just gonna stare at you guys while we move. You have her face, and the skin tones are great, you know, peach, rosy cheeks, very great. From this angle, you start to see the royal blue in the headband, which is really nice. The highlights on there are great. The shadow on the face, so you really get to see, you know, a hard light is coming in on her back. Really accented there and there. He didn't bring it out so much in that, and that's a good thing. Had you added extra white to that, it probably would have dulled this thing out, probably would have dulled the shirt out a little bit. But then you really see the green in the skirt. Let me see, can I bring this light up a little? There you go. This is really a cool one. I'll see can I find one more, because I came here just to have. Alright, this next one is Jules Breton, if I pronounced it wrong, assuming. Last Flowers Oil on Canvas. So, this one to me is more of a complete image. Unlike the other two, where, you know, you had these very strong focal points, really pronounced by color, you know. And then with this one, your eye's there, boom, and then your eye fans out. This one, your eye is here. This is your point, and then you see the rest. With this one, I would have to say my eye is generally drawn to here first. I see sky and her in this garden. And then things start to fill in after that. Let's get an angle where we don't have so much light shining down. You can sort of see how fine, like you see this one, this is gorgeous. But you come over here, you can sort of see how finely detailed this one is. I would say the part with the least detail on here is maybe your hair. But even then, the shadow work and color work that he did just really makes it stand out. But here you get a good idea. You see these flowers? The pinks he throws in there with the whites and the shadowing on the white. The light that comes down from here is very defined on everything. Like from top of her bonnet. And then you sort of see that the light's coming from there, but it's coming down overall. You see how the top of her shirt is really defined. Many things like the side here, how she looks. I'm getting really close. Let me step back. I'll just let you look at this one. I was only going to do one more, I think, or I was going to make this the last one, but let me see if I can find another one. Okay, so I was thinking about doing this one, but I can't really get a good one without the glare on it. So I figured that this one might be interesting. But you know, we're still working with a pretty good glare on this one too. So let's look at this one from a distance. And I guess the biggest thing I want to look at here is, if you look at her looking into the mirror, considering the light that's hitting her, her face is pretty dark. And I'm wondering what they're trying to symbolize here. Now, this is Simon, you pronounce it? The Toilet of Venus, 1629. So you see a few different things here. The bird they have there reminds me of her face there. In fact, I'm pretty sure he used the same dang colors off his palette for that. I'm not going to say much about this, just check it out. It's even got engraving inside of the fabrics that are hanging. This blue cloth seems to be prominent too. You have it here, and then you have it around the mirror, and then you have it around her head. I don't know if it signifies royalty in any way. So you have this chalice. From a distance, everything is very put together. You get close, and you can see the little brush strokes for the highlights. The lighting's a little harsh in here. Oops, dropped my stuff. I don't have much more I really want to look at. Let's see. That's just gorgeous right there. The colors in that. It almost looks like you have a red to blue transition going on between that background. The red hue really hitting here, some blue there, then the red there, and then you hit this halfway point where the whole thing just shifts from a red to blue. But even here on the red side, you've got two blues that complement with this in the middle, and here you have a red on the blue side. So there's probably like some interplay and balance going on there. Let's see if there's anything really hidden in there. She's taking some notes. There seems to be, I want to notice that, would you? A bird there in that one. There's something with the background. And there's an exchange of goods here. I don't know what the symbolism of the bird is. Some Greek architecture of some kind back there. Huh. Is that an animal? I actually see it better through the phone camera. Some kind of weight. That's interesting. Let's read what it says. This is a prep for a larger picture or larger painting. So this was just basically a study. Hell of a study. Alright, that's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna enjoy my time here. If you watch this, thanks.